Hoi hoi! Oh wait, since...
Victory awaits!
Well, they told me I could. They told me I could, so I'm gonna do it. Seriously, what the fuck? Okay. Okay. Oh, the Christmas takes its one. Okay, so what was that again? I guess
It's
we're
about
going
time.
to the ship. Yeah, yeah, we're going back to the ship. Since I was at work yesterday, happy Easter. Happy belated Easter. Um, and yeah, the only reason why today is a short stream, since I do have the day off, is I got some stuff to do. Mainly going over to my mom's to hang out with them a little bit since I didn't go Easter.
A new challenge for me?
Where the hell's the ship again? It's not this one. There it is. Yes, it's titled correctly. Today is a short stream. Should only be about like an hour or two. Well, there's Jai. There's Heinrix. So loud. Alright. Fucking shit. Well, not pronounced. That's true. So, for the betterment of so we're going to Janus. We're going to Janus first. Yeah, we're going to Janus, then we're going to where is it? Kiava Gamma, and then we'll go to Dargonus. We'll just go from Telecos Epsilon to Cranach to Mundus Valentius. Yeah, we'll do that. Astray, okay. So we'll talk to the sister first. Then we'll talk with Heinrix. Okay. Let's go talk with Magenta.
Greetings.
No, not that question. Alright. I'm waiting for you to tell me about your past and to explain the strange words of that cultist on Footfall.
Yes, I'm ready. I would ask only one thing of you, Rogue Trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the sacred warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
Of course. Let's go there right away. Magenta drops to her knees, her hands making the sign of the Aquila. Her eyes are locked on the sweeping signature on the warrant. A seemingly mundane thing. Merely a flourish on a piece of paper. Unless one knows whose hand left that mark and whose blood is on that paper. If thou seest a flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest the fall of mine, burn me. With flames of fury and righteousness. But if thou seest a light in me, grace me. If thou hearest this plea of mine, bless me. With wrath of fury and righteousness. Chanter's voice is sonorous, as if made for singing hymns and prayers. Right now she cannot seem to catch her breath, so overwhelmed with emotion is she. For I breathe by the will of thine, for I live by the law of thine. I carry thy word, O Emperor. I bring solace to servants of thine, and ruin of foes decline, the fate of terror and righteousness. Upon finishing, she closes her eyes and remains silent for a long time with her head raised high. Slowly, like the first licks of flame in a campfire, a smile blossoms on her lips. When Argenta finally opens her eyes, they are alight with uncanny resolution. Rogue Trader, we need to talk. Or rather, I need to tell you something. The truth about how I ended up on Theodora von Valencia's ship. About the cultists we encountered on Footfall. I'm listening. Please understand. I couldn't trust you before. I'll tell you my story and you'll see why. Argenta pauses. I'll start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. Upon arriving in the Expanse and on Footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment. I wasn't needed. The reliquary I had been assigned to safeguard was already well protected by Reverend Hieronymus's mission. No one was even trying to defile it. For all its lawlessness, Footfall respects the worship of the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodora, head of your dynasty, appeared. She became an agent of divine will in a way. Argenta falters, searching for her words. It was from her that I learned about a planet recently discovered by her scouts, the Salus Prime. For a rogue trader, the planet was of little interest. A feral world away from convenient warp routes. For me, learning about its existence was a revelation. I've never even heard of such a planet. It belonged to a Von Valencia's dynasty. Sorry, I'm having some spouts of yawning here and there. Yes, now the planet is yours by right, but it's not as simple as that. The warp route leading to it was lost. I'll explain in due time. May I continue? Please. The description of Salus Prime was familiar to me. It seemed very similar to a world from an ancient legend. The legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Her voice grows reverent. Argenta, the living saint. She's my patroness. Yorda named me after her. She died millennia ago. Heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. But even those blasphemers could not touch Argenta's ashes, or her holy relic, the one star. For the fallen ship now served as the resting place for the saint's remains. It only allowed the truly righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt when this flash of insight came upon me. The world where Saint Argenta's ship fell merely a vague legend. No one knew its actual whereabouts. Suddenly, I myself, named after the saint, came across this information. I realized at that moment that it was a portent. But I must journey to the planet and find the ship. So I asked Reverend Hieronymus to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. I boarded Theodora's ship and demanded passage to the newly discovered planet Salus Prime. Where did you keep your supposition from Reverend Hieronymus? Surely he could have helped you in the search for the ship in the saint's remains. I couldn't just come out and tell him. It was a portent revealed to me personally, can't you see? I told Reverend Hieronymus the honest truth. I was going on a personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. It really was a pilgrimage. It was as if Saint Argenta herself had shown me the way. commanded me to undertake this trial. If I had found the ship and set foot on its decks, if I had laid my hand on her remains in the relic, it would have been a sign that I truly had been blessed with the saint's favor. It's understandable. Searching for your destiny, for your place in the world, is a special matter. A personal one. You either succeed at it or you don't. Genta looks at me somewhat surprised. I thought I had been called. Finding the ship was my destiny. My place in the world. Perhaps there's something to that. You mentioned something called the One Star. What is it? Apologies, I got so carried away I forgot to explain. The One Star is the relic kept by Saint Argenta. I belong to the order Pronatus. We attach particular significance to holy relics. One Star is one of the lost relics of the past. So mysterious that no one even knows what it is exactly. Argenta's hagiography at times calls it a banner, or set of armor, a blessed chainsword. One thing is certain, it was a beacon of righteousness. It was lost with Argenta's death. I imagine Theodora was thrilled with the prospect. Lady Theodora lent her assistant. It was her intention to visit the newly discovered worlds, and she took me with her. What happened next? Defeat. Argenta says bitterly. The ship's augurs failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this, though. According to the legend, the ship can conceal itself from the naked eye. Only a pilgrim guided by a pure heart can find it. What I didn't expect was an ambush waiting for us on the planet. I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I know Saint Argenta's hagiography by heart. I know all the legends about her. I followed their obscure clues. The descriptions of mountains and rivers from millennial tales. I was certain that I found the way to the ship, and that's when we were attacked. The words we heard in the heretic shrine on footfall. Something about ways, doors, please addressed to some lord, the edge of daybreak. Argenta is shaking with disgust. They were the same words as those spoken by the cultists who attacked us on Salus Prime. My whole unit perished. All those honest, brave people I had led to search for the relic. It's only by a miracle that I didn't perish along with them. I didn't connect these events at first. The cultists on Footfall, and the cultists on Salus Prime. The cultists attacking the ship, Conrad's betrayal. But these are all links in the same chain. If they've long since infiltrated the ranks of Von Valentia's servants, what if I led those heretics to the sacred planet with my search? So how did you manage to escape from the cultists? Argenta hangs her head. Theodora's people received the distress call, came to my rescue and brought me aboard the ship. I barely remember what happened. When we arrived, I was already severely wounded, fighting back with whatever remained of my strength. I think I shouted that we had to go after them, but they didn't listen. They took me to the shutter and pulled out. to that. It's all blackness. When I came to, we were already in the middle of a warp jump. Theodora had urgent matters to take care of, and she decided that she could clear out the planet at a later time. No need to blame yourself. If the heretics really had wormed their way into the Von Valentia's ranks by then, they would have found the planet even without you going there. I doubt it. No one except me was particularly interested in the planet. Kunrad, on the other hand, he sympathized with me when I first came aboard. He helped arrange an audience with Theodora and supported me in my effort to visit the planet. I never told him plainly why I wanted to go there, but I imagine that vulture must have figured out that it was something important. Something related to the holy faith of the Imperium. Look, delight a heretic more than defiling a relic. Sadly, the only one who might have all the answers, Kunrad, escaped. Oh yes, I sincerely hope that we will meet him again. That serpent needs to answer a few questions before he's plunged into cleansing flame. That's why you didn't trust me before, correct? Yes, Rogue Trader. A gentle looks you in the eye. I saw with my eyes. No member of your family showed its true colors as a servant of the archenemy. I'd already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of cultists and was afraid of another betrayal. I couldn't be forthright with you, so I studied you, looking for seeds of corruption, the light of righteousness. Just to clarify, you were wounded, so you never fancied out into ship. Is that right? Yes. I rushed to Theodora the moment I could walk again, and I insisted on going back to Salus Prime to defend the relic from the heretics. I was told that the warp had destroyed the whole route to the planet, and that plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort. As if there could be anything more important than protecting the faith and hunting down servants of the archenemy. In any event, the route was lost. All knowledge of it died in the attack on the ship along with the old navigator. Now we have a new lead. The data that we collected in the cultist shrine on Footfall. Don't care what that reprobate we executed said. There must be a way to track them down. Tell me, Rogue Trader, will you help me in this undertaking? Will you help me find this great relic and return it to the people of the Imperium? There's nothing I wouldn't do to reclaim a sacred object for the people of the Imperium. Gentle walks up and places her hand on your shoulder. So be it, Rogue Trader. As I stand here before the warrant, the embodiment of the Emperor's will, marked by his own hand, I vow that I will not relent until the holy relic has been returned and the heretics punished. May the light be with us both on this path. I mean, I wanted to ask her what she thought about me, but I guess I messed up. Give me a second. There we go. Okay. Oh, what's this? Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. Not Jai. We're going to talk to Heinrichs next. And there we go. Hands, yes I know. I know. Okay, let's, yeah, there we go. Heinrichs. Let's try Heinrichs.
To what do I owe this visit?
Oh shit. You wanted to discuss the nature of your mission.
Yes, but not here. I wouldn't want our conversation to be gossip fodder on the bridge and in the officers' mess.
Heinrichs nods slightly. Alright, let's see. What is he going to... Well, I'll do my best. Thank you for finding an opportunity to talk. I trust now would be a good time. Explain the reason for my return aboard your ship. Meh. Oh well. I welcome the chance to assist Inquisition with its... the Inquisition with its inquiries, Van Collux. Lord Captain, your enthusiasm is commendable. The interrogator smiles, but his eyes remain cold. To business, then. In the cold of the final dawn, the madmen preach their heretical doctrine. Among the denizens of the Coronis Expanse, and instigate crimes against the throne and humanity. One such crime took place in your protectorate. The Lord Inquisitor considered it necessary to have one of his acolytes accompany the Rogue Trader on the voyage into the corrupted region. I also need to meet with one of my observers on the capital world of your domain. Why would Ordo Xenos agents investigate a cult? Chaos cult? You are well versed in how the Inquisition is organized, Raphael Throxus. Yes. Initially, our arrival in the Coronis Expanse was dictated by the need to fight Xenos. There was more. The cult is tangentially related to my main specialization. Perhaps I will be able to reveal the full truth someday. Right now, I ask you to display humility and patience. Your spies on the Von Valencia's worlds? The person I mentioned is not a spy, but a secretary. Not a spy, but a secretary in the Administratum Department on Dargonis. The planet's governor and Theodora were fully aware of his status. His duty is to fulfill the sacred oath to the Golden Throne and eliminate threats to the Imperium, which the Coronis Expanse has in abundance. His name is Achilles Galander. As soon as we contact Dargonis, I will introduce you as the new head of the dynasty. I'm sure you will appreciate the presence of such an advisor among your subjects, and I suggest you heed his words at least occasionally. Lord Inquisitor mentioned in his letter that he's willing to show lenience towards my actions that would otherwise be interpreted as radical. Henrix nods. That is correct. I should show greater tolerance for the mistake of a newly appointed rogue trader. To be frank, I am surprised. The Lord Inquisitor is not the type to indulge the weakness of soul and mind, even in someone who only recently accepted the burden of a lofty title. A chaos cult in my protectorate? Henrix, are you laying an accusation against my dynasty? Chaos treads softly, Raphael Throxus. The main danger of secret cults in sects is that they are like seeds. They can remain in the ground for decades, safe from all scrutiny, until an opportunity to sprout, grow, and bear monstrous fruit presents itself. The emergence of a cult on one of the Rogue Trader's planets does not mean the dynasty head himself is a Chaos worshipper. Having said that, it should be noted that Theodora von Valencius was famous for her loose interpretation of the freedoms granted by the Warlords. Next regards you with a probing look. Bloodline can be stained by ancestral transgressions. If it is indeed so, it is in your best interest to do whatever necessary to redeem yourself. Then perhaps you'll get a chance to salvage your dynasty's reputation. To know more about this cult to the final dawn? Chaos worshippers, most often agents of the throne, run into lone renegades stirring up the rabble. Sane prophets and hysteric visionaries, preaching the end of days, passing comet, a mutant rebellion, an onslaught of monsters. Each time they come up with a new reason why people should prostrate themselves in quivering fear. Much effort and the blood of those loyal to the Golden Throne was spent before we established the connection between those heretics. However, the cult of the Final Dawn is something greater than a gaggle of misguided seers and fortune-tellers. They cleverly spread their agents all over the Coronis expanse, disseminating heresy among honest people on the Imperium worlds. There is a certain strategy to their actions that changes whenever we get too close. And finally, we have enough military power to have had the 2 ships that we had sent after them later discovered as wreckage. The growing difficulty in making warp jumps is detrimental to us, but is unlikely to inconvenience those who engage in vile sorcery day in and day out. Henrik sighs. After the events on Rykard Minoris, I suspected the cult might have built its nest inside Winterscale's domain. The latest reports indicate it's your protectorate that is harboring heretics. Being in your entourage improves my chances of getting closer to their secrets. Well, I have already agreed to give you a place aboard my ship. What else? Rogue Trader should deliver me to the system that contains the industrial world of Kiava Gamma. We'll then accompany you to the surface and determine what the cult is planning and how it intends to use the resources that have fallen into their clutches, which may very well include the blessed engines of the Adeptus Mechanicus, even the followers of the Omnicide themselves. Alright, give me a second. Alright, had someone call me again. Let's see. I'll be frank. The answer to this question is unlikely to please either of us. Machinations of chaos usually go beyond solely inflicting countless deaths and destructions. Having their plans come to fruition would lead to far more terrible consequences. One of the systems in the Coronis Expanse is already lost. May the Emperor protect us from watching this tragedy play out again. We met a Chaos Space Marine on Rikid Minoris. Do we risk running into his brothers? I have no doubt it will happen sooner or later, Raphael Throxus. Chaos Marines siding with the cult is very, very bad news. Most likely they kept away until recently, pulling their puppet strings from a respectable distance. These traitors seldom show up alone. The worst we can count on is having to deal with just a squad of Chaos Space Marines in the Coronis Expanse, not an entire company. Why did your suspicion fall on Kiavagama? Disjointed pieces of data that finally merged into a single picture. Additionally, not long ago, a vessel from that world arrived on footfall. The reports from the crew were confused and alarming, making me fear a planet-wide rebellion. Let's assume Kiavagama has fallen to heresy. What then will you again propose? What then? Will you again propose we destroy an entire planet? Henrik stares you down. On Rikid Minoris, you made a decision that sent billions of souls into the grasp of the archenemy. Unreasonable and unforgettably high price for a small handful of people saved by your mercy. Do you consider it a worthy exchange? I most certainly do not. I make every effort to make sure such an exchange does not happen again. Sentimentality is a luxury I cannot afford. I do not believe you lack compassion. Do not stop me after all, although you certainly could have tried. The interrogator's eyes narrow. I haven't said I would not like to be able to afford such luxury. In fact, deep down I understand why you acted that way. I have yet to eliminate the understanding and acceptance within myself. But I will. I won't let anyone dare their way to run on my worlds, be they servants of chaos, Xenos, or heretics. A commendable aspiration for a person who holds the fates of billions of people and dozens of imperial worlds in his hands. Which is why you need to be ever more vigilant when looking for seeds of corruption on your planets, lest they sprout someday and spell doom for what is tangled up in their roots. I must go about my business. Is there anything else I need to know? Let me put it this way. You may think whatever you want of me, but my goal is not to hinder you. I'm here to help you in the fight against foes you may not even be aware of. You have my word that I will provide every assistance in uprooting the heresy that has sprouted on the Von Valentius worlds while their master was away. That I will try to be more patient with less grievous flaws the bearers of the warrant are sometimes known to have. Henrix inclines his head. Thank you for the sparing time, Lord Cotton. Sometimes I like him. Other times, not so much. But I guess that is the way. That is the way. Let's put those two away. Let's see. Use the key of your blood, yeah. Servitude's powerful jaws close around your hand with a screeching clack. You feel the cold metal pierce your skin. Drop blood. The vid screens in front of you flicker red. Restlessly, filling with numerical combinations. Sacred mechanism is awake and ready to receive your quest, Lord Cotton. Pascal has informed me that the system has encrypted data stored inside, and I wish to know its contents. Without another word, the tech priest turns to the cogitator, raises his hands, and a prayer of binary code calls out of his Vox device. Silver motors in the bowels of the machine grow louder, its undulating hum responding to his chant. Numerical combinations run down the screens. Machine Spirit has discovered numerous critical errors. Data is damaged. The tech priest stops abruptly and the green glow of his visor narrows. Registering an intact segment. Machine Spirit has spoken. The worlds of Kiava Gamma and Gargonas hold certain data repositories. The mechanism is ready to provide the Rogue Trader with data keys that can unlock said repositories. What data repositories? That remains hidden. The encrypted data bank belonged to the esteemed Theodora von Valentius. She was the only one who could have known about these repositories. Perhaps the former Agency Prime also could have known. Omnis, I accept his code. If I were to propose a hypothesis, it would be most prudent of a figure as eminent as a rogue trader to store her classified data in receptacles most secure. How do I accept these keys? Okay. Gracious machine spirit is willing to transfer the data keys to the head of the house, Mon Valentius, by means of an electu, a hypodermic tattoo augment. If you're ready to accept the keys, place your hand inside the servitor's mouth. Deep within the servitor's dark gullet, unseen burning hot needles pierce your wrist. The sharp pain only lasts a moment. The electu that has been planted inside your wrist should be enough to open the repository doors. I need to know more about the caches. The Omnissiah favors you. Machine Spirit is willing to commence the calculation procedure that could restore the lost data. Restore the data on the cache located on Dargonis. Machine hums louder until it lets out a resounding crackle. The sound stops. An unmoving numerical combinations lights up on the screen. Tech priest synthesized, voice sounds almost concerned. The data has been restored, but it's only a single phrase. Litanies of the motive force. That is all the sacred mechanism was able to establish. I'm interested in the cache on Kava Gamma. Server motors within the heavily hot throne. The machine clicks upwards abrasively for several minutes, until eventually a numerical code appears on the screen. The tech priest turns to you. Blessed are the Omnissiah's deeds. Repository on Kavagama has a security system guarding it. Machine Spirit has recovered a code that will allow you to disable the defenses. Okay, cool. Okay, that's about it. Let's see if she has any dialogue.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations. Right here? Are you sure? Of course. Let us turn from personal matters to more pressing concerns. Jai is like a gem. The brighter people shine around her, the clearer her faces reflect a myriad of colorful gleams. They are all parts of Jai, but no single one of them is her. I cannot discern her true colors through the veil of her motley shawls. I peel off hue after hue, only to find a different color underneath every time. The esteemed Magos Haneman is shattered, like a beautiful stained glass window into a mosaic of colors. His bright, beckoning hues are mixed together in complete disarray. I must confess it perplexes me. Normally, scarlet and steel are all that fills the heart of a servant of the Omnissiah. I have enjoyed your company. Thank you for the conversation.
Okay.
Allow me to thank you again for helping me with the cargo, Shireen. I am sure the Ashmags who squirreled away my goods won't give up so easily, and I'll hear more about their scheming yet. Let's strike a deal, Shireen. I will watch your back, if you do me a favor and watch mine. Well, enough jokes. Is there something you wanted?
Did you know my predecessor?
It is difficult not to be aware of the powers that be, especially ones like Lord Captain Theodora. But we never met personally, as the difference between our positions was far too great. Theodora was a mighty ruler, the center of her own universe, and I, a pathetic speck, was nothing next to her. But you were kind to me, Shireen, and in my eyes, that puts you above your esteemed aunt, or whoever she was to you.
Was there some business you wish to discuss?
Oh, Shireen, I did manage to spark your interest. Allow me to invite you to a more private place. My words are meant for your ears alone.
Flickering light of dozens of candles plays across Giant's face, making a small smile appear even more mysterious. Shireen, the Exalted One himself brought us together the day you crossed Vladimir's threshold, led us to the cargo, and gave his blessing for its return. You know what people on my world say when such a thing happens? What's gained is to be shared with your neighbor. She points to the containers in front of her. One contains a polished Eldari rifle, rare model, and the other holds an ornate sword. I'm sharing what I've gained with you. Please accept these humble gifts in honor of our wildly successful, though suddenly struck friendship. We're not here to exchange pleasantries. What is it you wanted to discuss? Straight down to business. Not even any prelude. Oh, Shireen, if there were more dealers like you on Footfall instead of people who just like to hear themselves speak, I'd get twice as much done. After a brief pause, she awkwardly continues. So, the matter I wanted to discuss with you was related to my business. You know that I sell Xeno artifacts to interested Imperial subjects and Imperial trinkets to Xenos. Business is going well. My network runs even without without my participation. When it comes to expansion, well, that's where I hit a wall. Rivals envious of my success. Jack throws up her hands. Falco especially. I'm certain the theft of the cargo was his doing. I can never predict what that Ashmag will do next. While the Imperium's authority may be fragmented in expanse, it could crack down on my people. On people of my profession at any moment. If you were slightly less useful to me, I would have brought you to justice myself. But you keep me around because you need my capabilities, shrt. I can offer you more. The Rogue Trader put in a good word for me with the severance of the Adeptus in Stratum, and I could become an official trade representative of the Imperium. Just imagine it. A little scrap of paper will offer me and my agents protection against Ashmeg's schemes. Far better than any refractor field. Even the Inquisition will have to think twice before they mess with me, because I'll be a representative of the law in my own right. And the best part of it all is that this will cost you precisely nothing. All you have to do is stop the Administratum Palace and obtain a certificate from the Master of Seals. My informants tell me that the palace is located on Darkonas, your capital world. You see how everything is aligned so wonderfully? And of course I'll repay you in kind. How do I benefit from your gaining official status? Besides being in receipt of my eternal gratitude, Jeff playfully raises a brow, won't it be beneficial to have someone in your retinue with the weight of authority behind them, rather than just another pawn? One slip of paper and I will be able to extend my network to systems far beyond footfall. My agents will be your eyes and ears throughout the expanse. I'm not gonna say I will. I won't say I won't. I'll take it into consideration. Perhaps your thoughts will move in the right direction with a little encouragement from me. You must have some faction in mind that you would like to establish relations with. Severe Drusians, hot-headed pirates of the Casablanca. You merely need to use the right words, like a key for a lock. People will open their hearts to you at their words. I'll arrange everything, you merely have to ask. Who's it? Let's see, who's it best? That is not at all who I typed in. I don't know. Okay. Oh, that's who the Drusians are. It's the church. Give me a second. Okay, I see what it is. I'm gonna do the Drusians. Have my people put in a good word for you? Okay. And if you change your mind about my proposal, you can always find me nearby on the bridge. Just say the word and I'll come. What? What? You can wait. You can wait, you little freak. All you want is butt scratches. Alright, let me do this real quick. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Let's look at the map then. We were going to... Not here. I hear you. I hear you. Telecos Epsilon. Road jump went surprisingly smoothly. None of the deck officers on duty reported any innocent incidents. However, it was strange to cover your way to the Lord Captain when he returned to his quarters. The bed was unmade. An impression of a head was still visible on the pillow. There were no other signs of intrusion. The guards swore under oath that nobody had entered Lord Captain's quarters. The Immaterium released us from its grip this time. Small human dwelling stand on this barren, deserted planet. Scouts report that an old hermit lives there and spends his days in prayer to the Emperor. Ask the old hermit for a blessing. Lord Captain surprised, the old hermit turned out to be a navigator. When the old man discovered the noble status of his visitor, he really willingly recounted his tale. He had retreated to this planet long ago, back when he was still in his youth. After he had realized that his mind would not withstand frequent forays into the Immaterium, the realm of the Archery, the hermit spoke with pride about how he had worshipped the Emperor each and every moment of his life. But when he mentioned the golden light of the Astronomicon, his voice quivered. When his guests left, he stared after them for a long time, his gaze filled with sadness. Always this group. I don't like anyone else. Hear me, little missy. It's a quick save.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Formidable looking door blocks the way. Into the next module, it's covered in scratches as if someone clawed at the old metal for a very long time. The door does not respond to your touch and stands fast, refusing to open the writing above the doorway. Refusing to open, the writing above the doorway reads, Main Computing Cathedral. Shield us, so machine god, from the evil that has taken hold of your temple. Save us, preserve us from the corruption, show us the way. Sacred metal that bars our path is weakened. Let us appeal to the machine spirit of one of the generators, so the metal may drink from its blessed energies. There should be one hidden somewhere in this module. What is this evil you mentioned? The ominous I Nozel, Comprehenzel. I am merely his servant. I cannot discern what has stricken the abode of the machine god, but I do sense a distortion of the structure, disfigurement of the molecular order. This ship is sick. Further conversing is unproductive. The will of the Omnisci has brought us to these doors, thus our task is clear. Search for a way to proceed beyond, so we can discover a means of cleansing these holes. Let's check out the door. The door and the entire adjacent section of the bay have no power. There must be a backup generator somewhere nearby. Once you turn it on, you should be able to proceed. Oh, shut up. Alright, I might just end it here. I was thinking about ending it in like 20 minutes, but nah, right here's fine. Hold on. Yeah, I still need to get something to eat and then get ready to head over to my mom's house. So, that being said, we'll end it here in this unknown place. This unknown ship. Alright. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your night. And later. Later.